case it somehow isn't blatantly obvious to you, I am black, like as fuck. I don't even say that to mean that I'm blacker than other people. I just do believe that there is a difference between being ambiguous and undeniable. But you know, that's a different topic for another video. I live in Madrid, so I will admit that my experience here may be extremely different from a woman who's in Malaga or a man who's in Mallorca. So the first thing I'll say about this city is that people completely underestimate how diverse it is. Madrid is full of immigrants, and yes, I include myself in that group. I was shocked to see so many black and brown people. Now, with that being said, there are things that I experience because of my identity. First of all, the stares. You guys, like, I'm used to being stared at. Like, I get stared at in America, I get stared at, you know, wherever I go. I'm big as hell, I'm 5'9". I'm a sight to see. I understand that. You know, some people like it, some people don't, whatever. The difference I feel is that Spanish people, like, stare with no shame. I feel like in America, kids are taught from a young age, you know, it is not polite to stare. Don't look at that person like that. In Spain, the children, the adults, like everybody stares. It's gotten to the point where I'm just like,
hola, te ayudo, like, tengo una mancha en mi cara, porfa, dime.
Like, I don't always take it personal, but like sometimes it's just like, bro, like, can you blink for a second? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, it's always with malicious intention. One day, true story, me and my friend were waiting on the train tracks. We were on one side and there's this old Spanish man on the other. I see him in the dishes just staring. Like, you know how old people stare? Like, I just looked at my friend. I'm just like, what is he looking at? She was just like, you should say hi. So I'm just like, hola. And the guy's face brightens up and he's just like, hola. You know, he just wanted to say hi. So yeah, sometimes I do get dirty looks, but sometimes it's literally people just saying like, wow, I usually don't see this over here. I will say the nastiest looks and the most aggression that I've received came from older, like senior citizen Spanish males. So I guess segueing going in, the not so harmless, you know, things. I've been in a few situations that have made me like almost want to fight. Now, these are pretty few and far between, but they have obviously made enough of an impact on me to remember. The most recently being a time where I was walking to a train station. I saw a young mother and what I imagine is her husband pushing a, you know, toddler in a stroller. People here keep their babies in strollers until they're like 5. It's ridiculous. Anyway, this baby was probably 3 years old. As soon as the child saw me, he began like screaming. I didn't know what he was saying, not because it was Spanish, but because it was baby Spanish. So it's like this weird mix of like, you know, babble and the few words that he didn't know. He's like looking me dead in my eyes. He's screaming. And then he like, as I pass him, he turns and spits. You guys, I swear to God, I am not making it up. The baby spit at me. I remember stopping for a second and like turning to watch the baby go. I wanted to see what the hell the parents were about to do. They didn't do anything. They didn't even blink. And I know that they saw what he was doing. Even as they were, you know, walking away, the baby turned over his shoulder like,
Yeah, bitch, you know, what's up?
I think I was way too shocked to be like, oh my God, what just happened? You know, even now, that's not really my feeling about it. More than anything, it's just like, wow, what are these parents teaching them? I mean, why the hell would a baby know to spit at a person? I don't know, you guys. It could have been completely innocent, but from the look in that child's eyes and the force of which that spit came out, like it wasn't like a, it was like, did I just spit at my phone? I feel like it was because of who I am. I just said that most of the disdain comes from older white men, and then I'll tell y'all the story about a 3-year-old baby. Okay, let me get to the other story. About a few months ago, I was wearing a head wrap. I like head wraps. My hair doesn't always participate, so I throw on a little scarf and I put it in a turban. I will admit that I do get more stares when I do this. I guess now I'm that potentially Muslim black person, and that adds a whole other level of prejudice. Again, different topic, different video. But I was walking in a neighborhood to do a private English lesson. I had on my turban and, just regular clothes, some boots. I was actually cute that day. I'm walking this way and an older man is walking this way. As we cross paths, he kind of stood in my way and he looks me up and down. He mumbles something in Spanish and jumps at me. And I was just like, what? At that moment, he had caught the right one. He did that and continues to walk around me. And I turn around and I'm just like,
¿Qué?
He continues walking. So I just get louder.
¿Qué has dicho?
He turns around and mumbles. He's just like, hey.
Oh, nada, porque ya tú sabes.
You know that you were about to catch these hands. That moment, really pissed me off. Just the audacity of that man. Little old man, too. Like I said, I'm big. That guy was here to me. Sir, who do you think you are? So, yeah, I think that was the most brazen thing that's ever happened. But usually it's just stares and dirty looks, which that don't faze me. So as far as I guess the negatives of being brown in this city, I would say that, stares and idiots are the number one thing. Now, to be completely thorough and fair, I will undoubtedly say that being, an American changes a lot of perceptions of me. The fact that people hear me speak English or see an American passport, there is a significant African presence in Madrid. Well, not to say that I'm not African by blood, obviously, but in the same tone of differentiating between being ambiguously and undeniably black, there is also a difference between having fairer skin and an English accent versus being a luckily more melanated person with a Nigerian accent or a Cameroonian accent. There are a lot of men here that I've met from Sierra Leone, the Congo, Ethiopia, and etc. And I've talked to a few of them and noticed significant differences in their narrative. There is a bit more, prejudice and other negative aspects that go along with being from a country that isn't as, first world-y or whatever. Again, different topic, different day. America just has its own set of issues, and I'm not saying that there isn't racism and systemic oppression in the works over here, but what I'm saying is it's kind of manifested in different ways. So for example, one guy that I talked to was explaining to me that he had been, wow, God, I'm yellow lighting. Okay. Can I get a little bit of brown? Okay. So one guy I talked to when I first got to Spain told me how he had been living here for more than 12 years, fighting for citizenship and basically getting sent on a wild goose chase through the government and basically the whole process of gaining citizenship. He had told me about how he was, denied documents, or how he would come with some documents and be told that half of them weren't legit. At one point, he was even sent to prison, obviously because he couldn't make it through the process. He felt like it was because of where he was from. I can't remember 100%, but I will say with confidence, I believe it was West African. Obtaining legal residency here is something that I hear a lot of. Do you guys hear that? That's the wind. It's so windy today. But yeah, obtaining legal citizenship is one of the biggest ways that I've heard people feel, discriminated against. Of course, there are other situations, but like I said, I don't feel comfortable delving into those because it's not my experience. So maybe I'll find somebody who can speak further on that. But until then, I'll just tell you guys about how I feel. And the very last thing that I will bring up is the fact that I live in a district that is pretty diverse. Madrid is split into 11 distinct districts, and each district has its own set of barrios or neighborhoods. My district is Carabanchel, and it is one of the most populated districts in Madrid. It's considered the hood, undesirable by many. I have a whole piece about that on my blog. Go check it out. But I think it is significant in feeling at home versus out of place. I don't want to sit here talking about it forever because that's a different discussion within itself. But I will say, if you don't have time to read the blog now, first of all, the classification of a hood in America and the hood in Spain are completely different. What basically makes this area the hood is the fact that it's low income and there aren't as many resources, and the fact that it's a home to many immigrants. My district, my neighborhood is that bell goes off 7,000 times a day. Whatever, I'll just talk over it. So while my neighborhood is mostly Spanish, the diversity here doesn't make me feel out of place. Like, does that make sense? I can walk down the street and find a black hair beauty supply. I can walk past a high school and see their black and brown faces. Like, I just can't finish this, huh? Okay, that was my door lady. But finally, in closing, what I'm trying to say is, in my neighborhood, I am not an anomaly. I don't stick out like a sore thumb. I don't feel misplaced, so yeah, you guys, there are obviously differences with every person, but this is my narrative of being Black in Spain. This is just part one. I wanted to do something kind of halfway in, and then when I finish the whole program in July, I'll come back and update you with more experiences. So thank you for watching. I know this was pretty lengthy. If you're coming to Spain, I wish you the best of luck. If you are considering it, I completely recommend you just take the jump and go. Most importantly, don't let other people's stories make your decision for you. You can't base your life off of other people's narratives. It's important to understand them so that you're better prepared to deal with things, but you just have to go and experience for yourself. So that's all. I'm not talking no more. Have a blessed day. Continue being Black or brown or whatever you are. More power to you. Happy Black History Month. Next video will be up soon. Bye. Oh my God. So if y'all are unfamiliar, dryers just really aren't a thing in Spain. I put my clothes out last night and look at this. The wind done knocked my damn clothes over. I got panties everywhere. I can't wait to come back to America and put my clothes in a dryer. And the worst part is that the clothes still aren't dry. So they have to stay out there. I bet $20 or euros that it falls over again.